Did you see Cristiano Ronaldo's reaction to Michael Carrick leaving? It wasn't just emotional, it revealed something shocking about Manchester United's future. The club is struggling to find its identity, and fans are desperate for a sign that the glory days can return. But what if Ronaldo himself holds the key to turning it all around? Stick around, because what happens next could change everything you thought you knew about Old Trafford. We'll explain everything in this video step by step. Don't skit. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, because this story hits straight in the feels and then smashes the crossbar on the way in. Cristiano Ronaldo, the icon, the machine, the heartbeat of Old Trafford memories, has just sent shockwaves through Manchester with one reaction, one line, one moment, and suddenly the past comes, roaring back to life. Michael Carrick, Mr. Reliable, the silent general, the man who made midfield battles look like a chess match, has stepped away. And when that news broke, Ronaldo didn't respond like a distant former teammate. Oh no, he reacted like family had just packed their bags, emotional, respectful, powerful. Because when Carrick left, Ronaldo's message wasn't corporate, it wasn't cold, it was raw, it was personal. The kind of reaction that screams, "This club still lives in me." Let's rewind the tape. Carrick and Ronaldo, champions, league nights, Premier League wars, last-minute goals, last-ditch tackles. One ran the midfield like a maestro, the other terrorised defences like a storm. Different roles, same mission, win. And here's the drama. Manchester United are searching for identity, searching for leadership, searching for someone who understands what this badge truly means. And suddenly, Ronaldo's reaction is louder than any transfer rumour. This isn't just nostalgia, this is a reminder. A reminder of standards, of discipline, of hunger, of that win-at-all-cost mentality that defined an era. Ronaldo didn't just praise Carrick, he honoured a culture United are desperate to rebuild. And that's why the whispers won't stop. That's why fans are dreaming. That's why the idea of Ronaldo returning on the pitch, in the dressing room, in the heartbeat of the club, just won't go away. Because when legends speak with emotion, clubs listen. When history knocks, football pays attention. So is this just respect between former teammates, or the clearest sign yet that Manchester United still needs Cristiano Ronaldo? Stay right here, because this story is far from over, and the next chapter might just shake Old Trafford to its core. Cristiano Ronaldo's emotional reaction to Michael Carrick's departure is more than a polite farewell or a routine message of respect. It's a window into a bond that never truly faded. For Ronaldo, Manchester United was never just another stop in a glittering career. It was the place where he transformed from a talented teenager into a global icon, and figures like Carrick were central to that journey. When Carrick left, Ronaldo's response carried weight because it felt instinctive, almost protective, like someone watching a piece of their own history walk out the door. That reaction reminded fans and critics alike that his connection to the club is built on shared sacrifice, shared pressure, and shared glory, not just trophies and headlines. During their time together, Carrick represented calm and control, the quiet heartbeat of the team, while Ronaldo embodied fire, ambition, and relentless drive. Their partnership symbolised balance, the kind every great team needs to succeed. Ronaldo trusted Carrick to cover space, recycle possession, and steady the tempo, giving him the freedom to attack without hesitation. Those years were defined by an unspoken understanding, where every run, pass, and recovery tackle served a bigger purpose. When Ronaldo acknowledges Carrick now, it is not nostalgia for the sake of sentiment, but recognition of a teammate who helped shape the standards that still define what Manchester United should be. The depth of Ronaldo's reaction also exposes how deeply invested he remains in the club's identity. Players who have truly moved on rarely respond with such intensity or warmth. His words carried emotion because Carrick's departure symbolised more than a staff change. It marked the further fading of an era Ronaldo still associates with excellence, unity, and clarity of purpose. For someone like Ronaldo, who thrives on structure and ambition, seeing another pillar of that period leave inevitably strikes a personal chord. It suggests that his relationship with United exists on a level far deeper than contracts or timelines. Fans quickly recognised this authenticity, which is why the reaction resonated so strongly. Supporters are desperate for signs that the club's greatest figures still care, still feel connected, still understand what has been lost in recent years. Ronaldo's response provided that validation. It reminded them that there was once a culture where players held each other accountable, where success was expected rather than hoped for. Carrick represented that culture, and Ronaldo's acknowledgement felt like a defence of those values in a time when the club's direction often feels uncertain. This moment also highlights why Ronaldo continues to loom large in discussions about Manchester United's future, regardless of his age or current role. His emotional investment signals unfinished business, a sense that the club's story is still intertwined with his own. The bond he shares with figures like Carrick reinforces the idea that Ronaldo does not view United as a closed chapter, but as a living part of his football identity. That connection, forged in pressure-filled matches and his story, triumphs, remains strong enough to surface instantly when one of his old allies steps away, revealing just how deep and unbroken that bond truly is. Michael Carrick's exit from the Manchester United setup has reopened a flood of memories from a period when success felt routine and dominance felt natural. His departure is not just about one individual moving on, but about the slow disappearance of an era that defined what winning looked like at Old Trafford. Carrick was never the loudest presence on the pitch, yet his influence was immense, and his absence now acts as a reminder of how leadership once functioned within the club. The moment he stepped away, fans were transported back to nights when control, composure, and confidence were embedded into every performance. That era was built on leaders who understood their roles perfectly and executed them without ego. Carrick's leadership was subtle but authoritative, rooted in intelligence rather than theatrics. He set the rhythm of matches, calmed chaos, and allowed flair players to thrive, all while rarely demanding attention. His style reflected a team that trusted its system and trusted each other, a stark contrast to the uncertainty that often surrounds the club today. When players like Carrick were at the core, leadership was not about speeches alone, but about consistency and decision-making under pressure. The memories Carrick's exit revives are also tied to discipline, both tactical and mental. That Manchester United side was defined by players who understood responsibility, who knew when to take risks and when to keep things simple. Carrick embodied that balance, and his presence ensured that standards never slipped, even when momentum shifted within games. Losing such figures gradually erodes the collective memory of how to win, making each departure feel like another page torn from a proven blueprint. His leaving underlines how far removed the club is from those principles that once guaranteed competitiveness. Unity was another defining feature of that winning era, and Carrick played a central role in maintaining it. He bridged generations within the squad, connecting seasoned veterans with emerging stars, ensuring continuity in values and expectations. The dressing room was a place of mutual respect, where experience guided ambition rather than clashed with it. Carrick's calm authority helped maintain that harmony, reinforcing the idea that individual brilliance meant little without collective purpose. His exit symbolises the thinning of those connective threads that once held the squad together. As fans reflect on Carrick's departure, they are not merely mourning a coach or former player, but the loss of a mindset. The struggles of the present make the achievements of the past feel even more significant, sharpening the contrast between then and now. Carrick's era was one where leadership did not need to be forced, where discipline was ingrained, and where unity translated directly into results. His leaving serves as a stark reminder of how those qualities once defined Manchester United and how their absence is now felt in every rebuilding conversation, every inconsistency on the pitch, and every longing glance toward a past where winning felt inevitable. Manchester United's ongoing struggle for identity has become impossible to ignore, and it is precisely this uncertainty that explains why figures like Cristiano Ronaldo continue to matter so deeply to the club's narrative. Once defined by clarity of purpose and unwavering ambition, United now find themselves searching for a sense of self that used to be instinctive. In the past, players understood what wearing the badge demanded before they even stepped onto the pitch. Today, that understanding often feels fragmented, and the contrast only grows sharper when former icons react emotionally to changes within the club. Ronaldo represents a living memory of what Manchester United once stood for. His mentality was forged in an environment where winning was non-negotiable and personal standards were brutally high. That mindset is exactly what the club appears to be missing as it cycles through rebuilds, tactical shifts and leadership changes. The current struggles are not simply about formations or recruitment, but about the absence of a unifying figure who embodies ambition and accountability. Ronaldo's presence, even in discussion, highlights the gap between what United aspire to be and what they have recently become. The lack of a clear identity is manifested in inconsistency on the pitch and uncertainty off it. Players arrive with talent but often struggle to adapt to the weight of expectation that once defined the club. In earlier eras, figures like Ronaldo set the tone instantly, demanding excellence through actions rather than words. Training sessions, match days, and even defeats were approached with an intensity that reinforced collective responsibility. Without such figures, standards become negotiable and the club's direction begins to blur. This is why Ronaldo's relevance extends beyond nostalgia or marketing appeal. He symbolises leadership rooted in example, not hierarchy. His relentless drive created an environment where mediocrity was exposed and challenged. In a squad searching for confidence and cohesion, that type of influence can be transformative. The club's struggles make it clear that technical ability alone cannot restore identity. It requires individuals who understand the psychological demands of playing for Manchester United. Ronaldo's history provides a blueprint for that understanding. Supporters sense this absence acutely, which is why debates around Ronaldo's importance refuse to fade. Fans are not merely longing for past glories, but for the values that accompanied them. The emotional reactions from former players serve as reminders of a culture built on pride, resilience, and relentless pursuit of success. Ronaldo's continued connection to He club underscores how deeply those values are missed. His story is intertwined with an era when identity was clear, leadership was visible, and expectations were universally understood. Manchester United's identity crisis has created a vacuum where symbols of authority and ambition are desperately needed. Ronaldo remains one of the few figures capable of filling that space, not necessarily through minutes on the pitch, but through the mentality he represents. His name continues to surface because the club's struggles have exposed how vital that mentality once was. In the absence of clear direction, memories of figures who embodied United's identity grow louder, shaping conversations about what the club must rediscover to move forward. The speculation surrounding Cristiano Ronaldo's future at Manchester United continues to grow, fueled not by transfer leaks or dramatic headlines, but by moments that reveal how unfinished his connection to the club still feels. His reaction to events like Michael Carrick's departure acts as a spark, reigniting conversations that never fully disappeared. Every emotional response, every public acknowledgement of the club's past adds weight to the belief that Ronaldo's influence at United is not confined to history books. Instead, it lingers in the present, shaping how fans, pundits, and even the club itself view leadership and legacy. Ronaldo's influence has always extended beyond goals and trophies. At United, he represented authority, professionalism, and a relentless refusal to accept decline. When such a figure shows visible attachment to the club, it naturally invites speculation about whether his role there is truly finished. The idea of his influence continuing in any capacity becomes compelling precisely because United are in a phase of transition. The club is searching for stability, direction, and credibility, and Ronaldo's name carries all three. His presence alone commands attention and respect, something that cannot be easily replicated by newer faces. The growing speculation is also rooted in timing. As United undergo structural and cultural changes, moments of emotional connection from former icons feel amplified. Carrick's exit symbolised another link to a successful era being severed, and Ronaldo's response felt like a refusal to let that era fade quietly. This resistance to closure fuels the sense that there is still a chapter left to be written. Whether as a player, mentor, or symbolic leader, the thought of Ronaldo returning in some form aligns with the club's need for continuity between past success and future ambition. Fans play a crucial role in keeping this speculation alive. Supporters recognise that Ronaldo's standards once elevated everyone around him, and in a period marked by inconsistency, that memory becomes powerful. The emotional bond between Ronaldo and the fan base remains strong, built on shared triumphs and unforgettable moments. Each reminder of that bond strengthens the belief that his story with United remains open-ended. The speculation is not driven solely by sentimentality, but by a genuine desire to restore a sense of authority and pride associated with the club's identity. Ronaldo himself adds to this narrative through his actions and words. He rarely speaks about United with detachment, choosing instead to emphasise respect, gratitude, and belonging. Such language resonates because it contrasts with the temporary nature of modern football careers. His connection feels rooted, almost permanent, and that perception encourages the idea that his influence cannot simply disappear. The speculation grows because Ronaldo represents something United currently lack, a figure whose personal legacy is inseparable from the club's values. As long as Manchester United continue to navigate uncertainty, the idea of Ronaldo's influence lingering will remain compelling. His reactions to moments involving the club act as signals, subtle yet powerful, that his relationship with United is still active, in spirit. This sense of unfinished business keeps speculation alive, ensuring that conversations about his potential return or continued involvement persist, driven by the belief that some stories in football refuse to end quietly. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe